What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, doing another DN duel commentary with my infamous insectors. As you guys can see, I'm just going to keep picking scissors until they finally work. I am such a stubborn player like that. I'm going to keep picking the same thing, and I'm not going to change for any reason. This is a video showing why I don't like to overextend, and you'll see what happens. Anyway, so I have Max C, Ladybug, Mirror Force, MST, Monster Born. I felt pretty decent about this hand. I'm looking for a Centipede. I find Dragonfly. And I have an MST for one of your back row. I've got Monster Reborn to back up the summon, so I feel really good. Like, I feel like I'm going to get my play off. And I've got a defensive card in Mirror Force, so I'm thinking just set that. If you try and overextend over the top, I've got Max C to counter that. For some reason, I felt like I let the comments from my last duel talk me into setting that MST, and it was a bad play, and I knew it the second I did it, and I got blasted by Heavy Storm, and I deserved it. I had no business setting that MST. You know, if you had the Tenki for like bear or whatever, I could have mirror forced you. You know, outside of Gates of the Dark World, I don't really feel like there was anything turn one that I really wanted to MST outside of maybe a wind up factory, but windups haven't been seeing that much play. So this is the reason why I don't overextend. Like, unless you have Bribe or Starlight Road or Solemn, it's not me. I don't feel like, you know, it's worth the risk. I had Max C, I had Mirror Force. If you MST me and go through the Max C, then, you know, by all means. Anyways, he has no response to my Dragonfly play. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, well, try and recover from that neg one that I took. Maybe make a terrorist play. And that's pretty much the only play that I have against two back row. Now, I do understand that I only put one level on Dragonfly, but in my head, it was level 5. So don't be like I cheated. It was an honest mistake. And if this was a regional duel, I just would have announced level 5. I wouldn't have used counters or anything like that. So I'm thinking in my head, go for terrorist. Since I had the Monster Born, I feel comfortable going for the Hornet, because if I fall into, you know, a D prison or something like that, or a warning, I can just Monster Reborn my Dragonfly back and start popping cards with Hornet. I can get my sword and feel pretty comfortable. Now I'm thinking he's gonna D prison here. I'm thinking this is Fire Fist or Macro Rabbit, but he doesn't end up D prisoning me, and I'm like, at that point, I'm not really sure what I can put him on, because I mean, straight from the duality, he knew what I was playing, but I don't know what he's playing. That's why I don't like to, you know, commit a lot when I don't know what you're playing. So I try and pop a card, and it's a Bispear. Now, obviously, I'm going to max C him, because at this point, I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm going to go +1. I'm going to recover that neg one that I took from the Heavy Storm, and I'll at least be even, except I have a pretty unkillable monster on the field. You know, now I drew the max C, which was just the nuts, because not only is he already under max C, but now I've got a max C for your turn. So at this point, now it's looking like I think I'm going to win. These are just the type of setups to where I know that I can create so much advantage against Mermails they can't come back. Now, at this point, he gets the lead, so I'm like, okay, that's fine. Now I'm just going to blow your field up with Dragonfly. You know I have Hornet. And if he torrentials me, I'm like, whatever. My Terrace is still going to live. You're going to lose your lead. So I don't feel like he has any outs to this situation. You know, Solemn Warning, Solemn Judgment would have been like the only outs, you know, hitting the Monster Reborn, obviously. But when he let me get the Dragonfly on the field, I knew that he couldn't use another Abyss Spear, so I was like, all right, you're just going to lose your whole field, plus I have another Max C. He tries to MST the Hornet, which I don't know why people do this. Maybe they don't understand that all that does is trigger Dragonfly, and I'm like, okay, whatever. You do realize that triggers Dragonfly, so I'm just going to get my Centipede, and I'm just going to end up popping the lead, and I think he realized that it's not going to stop my play. So, yeah, he put the lead in the graveyard as I'm going to pop it with Hornet. And now is when I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to search the Excalibur. And with this type of field, this is where the game feels like a foregone conclusion. I've got an 1800 Dragonfly who, if he dies, he's going to come back. I've got a 2600, you know, Terrorist who is now resistant to Dark Hole. In fact, my whole field is resistant to Dark Hole. Plus, I have Max C. I mean, what can you do with 4 cards? I don't see you having any outs to this situation. So he's looking in his graveyard, and Mermail is a combo deck to begin with. He summons Diva, so I know my Maxi is instantly good. And again, I don't really see a way for him to get over this with Catastor or, you know, Tech Genis Hyper Librarian or any of that stuff. So he just ends up scooping. But I felt like I won that duel because I kind of just overwhelmed him with my, you know, my Monster Reborn Terrorist play. And the Maxi pretty much gave me all the cards that I needed. Like, it countered his Abyss Spear play. But the main point of this video was, even though I won the duel, that was still a major misplay in my book, setting the MST. The way that my hand was constructed from the beginning, it should have been, my whole game plan should have been to try and get my Dragonfly Summon through. You know, MSTing one of your back row. Like, even if I blind MST'd and then my Dragonfly fell into a Torrential or something, I had the Monster Born. And when I set the MST, I felt like I put my whole game plan at risk. So that's why I felt like it was a really bad play. And the Heavy Storm was like, it was adequate punishment. You know, I felt like I made a stupid play and I got punished for it. So, you know, that is the reason why I really play the way that I play, guys. And, you know, for anybody who questions, like, dude, you play way too conservative, it's for reasons like that. You know, I can't be that aggressive when I don't know what I'm playing against, and I don't feel like there's a reason to commit that many cards when, you know, there's so much fear of the unknown out there. But anyways, hopefully I'll have more duels up soon. Thank you guys for watching as always, and I'll talk to you later. Subscribing makes life happy.